Better. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Is that better? Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Have I got some sound? When the mixing sound, have I got any sound, guys? Have I got any sound? Let me have a look at this. Guys, can you hear me? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Come on. Yes, you can hear you loud again. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Goodness me. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. Guys, Kazi, big up yourself. Thank you, Grayo, as well, for letting me know that was a bit of a crazy one. I don't know why it went off. I don't know why sometimes it does that. The sound goes off. I don't know what happened there. I had to take off my microphone, and I'm just using the other microphone. So it's all good. As long as you can hear me loud and clear, that's what all that matters at the end of the day, guys. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is fine and dandy, and everyone is ready for another show of Chatterbox, of course, filled with positivity about Manchester United, of course. It's very hard to find these days, isn't it? Positivity about Manchester United. It's a bit difficult to find it. And at the end of the day, it's a bit of a circus out there in regards to opinions. We got the fans against the fans. We got other people talking about Man United. We got, other fan channels. We got media, opening their mouth now, piping up, of course, and stuff like that. But I want to talk to you basically about Manchester United and the future of Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag has been talking about a young player, Gabriel Biancheri. Gabriel Biancheri, of course, you'll know him from the reserve team, of course, the youth team, of course. He's really killing it in the youth team. And rumour is he's looking to bring him through into the first team. Now, he's only 17 years old, so that is a lot of pressure on the lad. But I wouldn't mind this. This is exactly what we need. We need a fresher players coming through, of course. We need new players coming through. And, if he's good enough, as they say, if they're good enough, you're old enough, in my opinion, at the end of the day. So, guys, at the end of the day, there's rumours that Eric Ten Hag is looking at the youth team and he's looking to bring through more youth players, of course. So that is great news in regards to that, and bringing more youth players in, integrating them into the team and mixing them up with the more experienced players, of course, is absolutely what we need to do at the end of the day. If they are good enough, as I said, they are old enough. That's what I say, guys. That's what I say. Let me just go back to some of those comments. Good afternoon, Sal. Yeah, big up, Grayo. Big up, everyone. I've said the chat box is just going for. Hope your day was good, Grayo. Hope your day was good. Apologies about the sound earlier on. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Technical difficulties. Sometimes it happens on live streaming, of course, live streaming. But yeah, bringing through a player like of Biancheri, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Obviously playing for Wales now. He's obviously reached the full Wales squad, hasn't he? He's reached the full Wales squad. So he's getting competitive football. So why not bring him through? Let's see what happens. We bring him through. You never know what happened. It might be the next big thing, of course, coming through. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what goes on with that, guys. Of course. So in regards to Casemiro, of course, there's a lot of criticism in regards to Casemiro. He's Welsh, Kazi. He's Welsh. He is Welsh, yeah. I know he's got an Italian name, but he's Welsh. Yes, he's Welsh. But, I want to talk about Casemiro and the letdown, of course, about Casemiro, the whole, it divides opinion, doesn't it, Casemiro, at the end of the day. There's people who rate him and say he's still got a time. Big up, Randy. Big up yourself. Thank you so much for joining the stream, my friend. Thank you very much. I think the thing with Casemiro is that, sometimes you just have to say, look, I'm not the player that I once was. My legs have gone and I can't do it anymore. And the one thing I worry about is if Casemiro did end up leaving and going to like Turkey or something like that. And then, it leaves us short, doesn't it, in midfield, because we do need midfielders. And you know what? We did need a Rabiot in there, to be honest with you, if you're being totally honest, because if you think about it, you look at Casemiro and it's really worrying in regards to Casemiro. It's worrying because when he was playing the game on Saturday, you just saw him just go into his shell and you saw him slow down after that first mistake. He wasn't a leader. He didn't drive his team forward. It wasn't vocal and stuff. And that's what's sad about it at the end of the day. Yeah, it's sad that a legend like him is declining slowly. But, if we did lose Casemiro, if he did go to Turkey, news is Fenerbahce, Galatasaray are interested in him, then, what's happening with our midfield? What is going on with it? We're very short at the moment. I would have liked to rest Mainu, of course. We would have loved that. We are playing him into the ground. He's got England duty as well, so he'll probably play for England as well against Ireland. And we know Ireland will probably take that game very, very seriously, of course. They won't hold any prisoners, and I don't blame them, to be honest with you. They're going to play that game very seriously, and Mainoo will probably play that game, and they'll probably be the first team. Of course, Carl Palmer and players like that have left the squad, but Mainoo will play for England as well. And this is why it's important. When we get a chance to rest Mainoo, we need to rest him. We do need to rest him, to be honest with you guys. What do you think about that? Because at the end of the day, look, he's 19 years old. We're playing him and playing him and playing. We're playing him to the ground. Sometimes you have to bring players in slowly. Even Paul Scholes was brought into squads slowly, wasn't he? He was brought into certain squads slowly, wasn't he? So at the end of the day, yeah, look, I want Mainoo to play. I know that. But the problem is now is that when you lose games, you're under pressure. And when you're under pressure, when you drop certain players, fans are going to jump on you. As soon as that team news comes out an hour before the match against Southampton, and it's no Mainoo, there's going to be an uproar, isn't there? And straight away, it gets into a negative vibe, of course. Big up everyone, big up Kazi, big up Grayo, big up my brother. Thank you so much for joining me again, my man. Thank you very much. Eric Ten Hag should never have been in charge of transfers in the first two seasons. It was crazy that Arnold and Murtagh let him scout players and deferred to him. The reason for that, Almac, is that Murtagh and Arnold didn't know anything. That's the thing. They were bankers. They're not football people. But this time it's better because we got football people on top. We got football people above Eric Ten Hag, which is great, of course. I'm glad about that. Before, we didn't have football people. Murtagh and Arnold, they don't know what they're doing in regards to football and football scouting and stuff like that. They haven't got a clue what's going on, to be honest. So now this structure is just being put in place. Let's not forget, it's just the first few months of Ineos, of course. So we have to give it a chance, and that means giving Ten Hag a chance as well. Yes, we're very disappointed. Yes, the Liverpool game was disgusting, and we've seen it before the last 10 years. We've seen this movie before in regards to that, and we don't want it to happen again. We don't, but we don't have to be hasty as well, and we can't just be knee-jerk reaction kind of mentality, of course. I know that we have had a lot of pressure this last 10 years. It hasn't been great this last 10 years. I know that. You don't need to tell me that, but at the end of the day, we need to be calm and we need to just wait. Just wait and let's see what happens. I know there's lots of fans out there. They're jumping on this bandwagon, jumping on it, saying, I told you so, I told you so. Look, I'm not all about that. I'm all about Man United on the pitch. And if we're winning on the pitch, I'm happy. And if the fans are happy, I'm happy as well. At the end of the day, I don't want none of this competition within the fan base and these opinion competitions within the fan base. Because at the end of the day, no one is really right when it comes to football. No one is really 100% right when it comes to it. Because at the end of the day, if Ten Hag left and let's say we got a Tuchel in and Tuchel fails miserably, have we won or we lost? We've all lost, haven't we, at the end of the day? So at the end of the day, we have to be careful what we wish for, and we have to wait and just be a little bit more patient. If after the international break we end up winning the next 4 games, and everyone will be delighted, everyone's going to be jumping up and down, everyone's going to be happy. Of course, guys. Big up to you guys. That's Fergie didn't rush the class of 92. The problem is the manager is under pressure, and also he doesn't rotate well. Look at what he did with Ahmed. Absolutely, but the problem with Ten Hag is that he actually rests Ahmed too much. And this is the thing, he dropped Ahmed for the last game, of course, when he shouldn't have. He's our biggest threat at the end of the day. He was our player of the month, wasn't he? So I don't know why he dropped Ahmed. I do agree with that. You have to rest your players. You have to rest your young players. But I also agree with you. When you're under pressure, you're under pressure to play your best players all the time. If they are young or not, you're under pressure because you need results, and you're left in like a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's like it's a bit like you can't win because if you drop the players, the fans are going to be on you. If you play the players, fans are going to be saying you're playing them too much. So at the end of the day, look, Ten Hag has to do what he has to do, but we do need a stronger squad, of course. And if Casemiro does leave, if he goes to Turkey or something like that, we're left even more short. But the one thing I would say is that we do have some great young players coming through. This is why I was talking at the beginning of the show about Gabriel Biancheri in regards to coming through into the Manchester United squad. And he is a Wales international fully now. So let's not forget that. He has got the ability and is great, gaining experience day by day. Probably play this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised. 100%. Big up everyone. Big up Grayo. Hi mate. Big up Kazi. Big up Grayo. Big up everyone. Welcome to Chatterbox. The Chatterboxers are in the house, guys. Big up Grayo. Big yourselves up. Big up. Big up. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, I like the new structure and I have faith in Dan Ashwood, but Eric Ten Hag has wasted a lot of money previously and we can never get that money back. Onana, let me just say this. Let me just say, put this back on the screen. I was reading that. Onana, Anthony, Mount, and Casemiro was a waste of money. I mean, it's looking like that way. It's definitely looking like it is a waste of money. Onana is a big one. Is Onana starting to get into the category of Anthony? Is he starting to get into that category at the end of the day? Because it seems like everything that's shot at him, he lets in. I rarely see him making a save low. I rarely see that. Look, I bring in the positives about Onana. Okay, Onana was bought for his ball-playing skills, but he's not really showing that. He adds anxiety to the team. He second guesses. You don't know what he's going to do, you know. And also, he doesn't command his area. He doesn't command his box. He doesn't jump out and catch balls, etc. He doesn't do that, of course. So at the end of the day, look, Onana, the jury is out. What I would say good about Onana is that he's good at penalties. Absolutely. Very good at penalties. His personality is good. And you know, he is calm. And that's what I would say. That is what I would praise Onana for. You also need to play youngsters as much as possible, not all the time. You do, yeah. You need to give them a chance. One thing you do is give them a chance, as I always say. Sir Alex Ferguson said once, if you don't give youth a chance, they stagnate and they drift away. You have to give them a chance. It's very important. Of course, you don't burn them out. We don't burn them out because it is very easy to burn these young players out, of course. And that is something that we don't want, guys. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Sugar Kim, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I think October would determine a lot. By then, all the new signings will be ready, maybe except Shaw. So all he has to do is win in December in the NPL. EPL is what determines a sack or not. Absolutely, because we do need to start doing well in the Premier League. We know that Manchester United's bread and butter is the Premier League, and we do need to start doing better in the Premier League. At the moment, we haven't played well in the Premier League for a long time. Okay, we came second a couple of times, but was it really second? You know, we got 20 points behind Manchester City. You know, and you know we need to do better in regards to the Premier League because that is where we made our name, of course, under Sir Alex Ferguson, was the Premier League, was winning titles after titles. We won a title 3 times in a row, twice. And look at these smug Man City fans as well. Look at our rivals, you know. I don't know about you, but I can't take these rivals on us all the time. We've had this for years and years and years now. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, it's about time that we started winning now. It's our turn now. Come on. You know, we're waiting long enough now. We've taken our punishment, so to speak. We've had our punishment. Now, can we go on and can we start winning as well, guys? Grayo, he's Welsh, yeah. Biancheri is Welsh, yeah. About time Wales fans, some new players coming through. God knows who we need to. He's already played for Wales, Grayo. He's already played. He's been in the squad, yeah. He's already played. Hey, as soon as they found out he's at Man United, snap him up. Snap him up. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Well, we did take Michael Owen for you. Then again, maybe that isn't such a bad thing at the end of the day, guys. Yeah. Thank you, Gray. Yeah, he might play this weekend, depending, of course. Onana, bro, check how Inter Milan set themselves up under Inzaghi. They create a whole back to protect him. That back five, the back wing back style of play shielded Onana. I know, but do you really want your defense to just shield the goalkeeper? You know, you need a confident goalkeeper, one that you don't have to worry about shooting at him, you know, at the end of the day, and it goes in. We can't be playing that formation with 5 at the back and stuff like that. That's not the way Manchester United do it. We need to learn how to control games. The thing with Onana, you know, he's good at some things, as I said, but for me, goalkeepers don't always work out. Your first goalkeeper you sign doesn't always work out. Sir Alex Ferguson found that himself the hard way. Of course, when Schmeichel left, there were many goalkeepers who came in who fouled, you know, until we found Van der Sar. Onana might not just be that guy. He just might not be good enough. And at the end of the day, you know, Man United just might not suit him. You know, maybe he's suited to the Serie A type of football. And as we know with Serie A, you know, they do play that formation. They do play the 3 at the back with the wing backs, of course they do. Almac, I think Onana is suited to play the dominant team that allows him to distribute and not make many saves. He would look great at Real Madrid or City, but at United, the keeper has to make saves. But when you look at Real Madrid, my friend, Real Madrid have Courtois. Courtois, you could shoot anything at him, he saves it. Low, high, left, right, he'll save it. You know, Courtois has kept Real Madrid in many games. How many games has Onana kept us in? But as I said, if I was going to praise Onana, his best skill is his penalty ability. He's good at saving penalties and things like that. Do you know what I mean? He's good at saving penalties. His confidence, I like it. He's contagious. He's got a good personality. I love that. But at the end of the day, you know, your bread and butter is saving goals from going in the net. You're saving balls from going in the net. That is your bread and butter, and that's what you need to do, of course. Then we shouldn't have signed him. It's a Ten Hag signing. If Ten Hag faulted there, get a player who suits our style of play. I mean, you know what? This hindsight is a beautiful thing, of course. And before we signed Onana, I'm gonna admit I said I wanted Onana at that time. I said out of Costa and Onana, I wanted Onana at that time, and I was a big advocate for getting Onana. But at the end of the day, look, it hasn't worked out, and we can say that we should have got Costa, we should have got him. It would have been better if we got Costa. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. But we did have Kova in there, a very capable goalkeeper, a young goalkeeper who's just won the league with Leverkusen. Why didn't we keep him? Why didn't we look at him? Why didn't we give him a chance? And this is the problem that I'm having at the moment. Sometimes just because you don't know them or you haven't seen them doesn't mean they're not good enough. We should have scouted him. We should have looked at him and said, look, this guy's capable, rather than spending 50-60 million on a goalkeeper like Onana. Big up, Kazi. Don't ever mention Man City. Mate, I've had Man City fans on my Twitter all day long. They've been on me on this. Mate, I tell you what, there's more Man City fans on my Twitter page than there is at the Etihad on a Saturday afternoon. They have been bombarding me with this, trying to justify what I said. All I did, right? I shared a comment from Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport. That's all I did, and they've gone absolutely bonkers in regards to it. They're just messaging me. It's on muted. I can't see their messages. I just see all of them. I just see all them. I just see the numbers. That's all I see. I just see the numbers. Oh, fantastic. Thank you for the numbers. You know what I mean? I don't read them. I read one or two, and I thought, oh, you lot, you just making me laugh. All these people trying to defend themselves, these Man City fans trying to defend themselves. For goodness sake, it does make me laugh. It does make me chuckle a little bit, to be honest with you. Almac, United can't afford to have a keeper that can't stop, so we give too many chances and need a good goal. We do. And you know what? This whole shot-stopping thing, we've always been like that. We always give chances to opposition. And when people say it's just now, nah, we've always been like that. We always give the opposition a chance. That has been Manchester United throughout history. But at the end of the day, we always scored goals. And that is the difference with this team and the other teams. Of course, we always score goals. So we didn't need to worry that much about conceding goals because we knew that we would eventually, get another goal or we get 2 goals and then we'll end up winning the game. But this time, now when we concede goals, it's like, where's the goal coming from? How are we going to get a chance? And this is the problem we're having at the moment, to be honest with you guys. Trigger Kim, bro, question. Is Xerxes running into the spaces forward or connector type of forward? Because he looks like a ball carrier, not that type of Vardy pass ball forward. With all that. He said it himself, Trigger Kim, that he's a creative player. He said himself he's a creative player. So when he says he's a creative player, I tend to think more of a false number 9, more of a number 10, more of a winger, for example, not a number 9 as such, not a number 10 as such. He's not going to go in there and score 40 goals a season. He never has. And this is the thing why I said about an experienced striker. We do need an experienced striker, or we need Rasmus to come back ASAP. We're desperate to have Rasmus back. And if anything, Rasmus being injured has shown you how important Rasmus is to our team. We need a focal point. We need someone up there. But in regards to goals, last season, we didn't score enough goals, and we need to score goals now. Come on, football's about goals. We're scoring 1 goal a month. This is not good enough at the end of the day. We used to smash teams. We used to blow teams away. Nowadays, we concede one. It's like, where are we going to get this goal? How are we going to equalise? We have to rely on luck and stuff like that. And that's not how we should be doing things. Big up, Kazi. Then can Serki and Holland play together in the same game, like the Cole, York and Combo? What do you mean, Hoyland? Oh, yes. At the end of the day, what I don't like about the 4-3-3 formation, right, is that, the 3 up front, they are very reluctant to create for the striker up front. And this is why I'm a big fan of the 4-4-2, 4-5-1. Because 4-4-2, 4-5-1, you have more chance of creating for your forwards. Like back in the day under Dwight York and Andy Cole, you used to have Beckham and you used to have Ryan Giggs, right? And them 2 players would be supplying for the strikers. Even when we brought in Jesper Blomqvist, of course, it'd be supplying for the strikers. We used to have that. We also have the wingers who create chances. Then we had Scholes and Keane, of course, who can go full keep. Scholes can go forward, Keane can hold back. Then Dwight York can come back a little bit and play that number 10, sort of false 9 number role with Andy Cole up front, who's a known striker. So, you know, I don't like this formation that we play. I just feel like it encourages attackers to try and score rather than trying to create as well. We've got no one who really creates apart from Bruno. And even then, he's drying up a little bit and we're not creating as much as we should. Sal, how about the 4-2-4 formation with 2 CDMs with Ugarte and De Ligt? You have to stop the bleeding first, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And this is, I always questioned Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about playing the double pivot. And I was questioning them. I was saying, why they keep playing this double pivot? Why they keep playing this double pivot? And now it's kind of evident as to why we're playing that double pivot. It is changing now. But as you said, we've got to stop the bleeding and let it dry up before we can think about attacking. And I agree with that. Maybe a Casemiro and Ugarte, can they both play together? But I would rather first see how Ugarte does on his own. I would like to see how he does. He's got the legs. Casemiro doesn't have the legs. It's going to be very, very important in regards to how Ugarte does going forward. Now, Ugarte cannot flop. I say this. And with everything, right? Ugarte, if he flops, we're in big, big trouble. Ugarte cannot flop. We need Ugarte to hit the ground running, and we need him to be our shield, because at the moment we don't have any shield for that back four. Now, if we go against Southampton and we lose the game, God forbid, you know what the noise is going to be. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be people out there, you know, screaming and shouting and stuff like that. Cole and Dwight York. Yeah, Cole and Dwight York, legends, of course, absolute legends. Gone are the days of the typical winger, Sal. Do you know what? It was all subjective at the end of the day. In regards to wingers, why is it out? Why is it gone? You know, I think it can still work. I do. I think it still work. Why? Why not? You got good wingers. Why not? You know, and it creates things as well. And you've got 2 strikers up front who can hold the ball up. You can kick that ball upfield. You can chest it down. You can bring people into play. You can, you know, rather than just having one striker to do everything, in my opinion. If we knew that Højlund was going to be regularly injured, then maybe we should have got an efficient goal scorer rather than connector type of player. Was Xerxes the right profile forward? Yeah, exactly. You know, you make a good point, Almac, you know, as usual, my friend. So, you know, at the end of the day, we have to wait and see. Xerxes scored 1 goal so far. Is he the guy we need? Is he the striker we need? We're going to have to wait and see. Can he be that prolific striker? Is Ten Hag moving away from that striker? Does he believe in Rasmus? Can Rasmus get 20 goals a season? Can he? You know, because that's what we need at the moment. We have to wait and see how Rasmus does. When Rasmus comes back, of course, he's expected to be back for the Southampton game. A big blow in regards to Luke Shaw. Again, Luke Shaw, his injury is more serious than we first thought. Surprise, surprise. He won't be back for the Southampton game. Surprise, surprise. I mean, this is getting too much now in regards to Luke Shaw. It's getting too much. I'm getting pretty frustrated with him, unfortunately. And at the end of the day, look, we need a left back, and we might as well just bring in Murray or Harry Amas, because we need a left back and we need someone with a left foot, you know. 4-3-3 is boring. Absolutely, I agree, mate. It's just like everyone's trying to do the Pep Guardiola type football, of course. Rick, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well, Sal. How do you solve the Casemiro problem? The Casemiro problem, in my opinion, is replace him. That's it. At the end of the day, I just don't think it's going to work out for him. I don't think he's got the passion in his belly for Manchester United. I don't think he has it anymore. And you know what? When you haven't got the passion in your belly for the club, you know, you have to move on. And I just feel like Casemiro needs to move on. Can we move him on now? I don't think we can. I don't think we have the squad to move him on. I know there's interest from Turkey, but if we do sell Casemiro or loan him, for example, who's coming in? If Mainu gets injured, if Ugarte gets injured, God forbid, who's coming in? You know, we're going to end up bringing youngsters into the team. We don't have McTominay there anymore, of course. Let's not forget that as well. So we'll have Eriksen, we'll have Mount. And you know what? We'll be playing him out of position. Does Eriksen have the legs as well? He doesn't have the legs either. So we have, I mean, for me, I'll see how it goes this season. You know, I'd like to see him play alongside Ugarte sometimes, see how that does. If he has Ugarte and Casemiro, maybe we can rest Mainu. If we play Ugarte and Casemiro, we can rest Mainu. That could help. That could work as well, you know? Ellie Boya, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Ugarte, Casemiro, Mainu, drop Bruno. He's the worst captain. You would compare him to Robson, Cantona, Giggs, Beckham, mate. You know what? You're comparing him to absolute legends at the end of the day. Absolute legends who played for the club. Of course, Cantona, Giggs, Beckham. Of course, Robson. You know, these players in this team, they don't come anywhere close. Unfortunately, not one of them. unfortunately, they don't come anywhere close to those type of players. Those type of players were born serial winners at the end of the day. And you know what? We got rid of Beckham, who was a serial winner, you know, and and Cantona left. Of course, we've had big players leave this football club, you know. I'm not going to moan if anyone leaves this football club, including Casemiro, because at the end of the day, I don't care how many trophies you won at Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? You ain't won nothing at Man United, and that's what's important to me. Always like listening to you, mate. Even if you don't always agree, you are the voice of reason. Thank you, Deep Fake. You're very, very kind. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like listening to me. Unfortunately, I was muted at the beginning of the show, sadly. But, you know, you got my voice in the end. You got it in the end. At the end of the day, I had to take out my mic, something up with the mic. But, yeah, thank you for joining me. As usual, keep spreading the word. Keep spreading the word about Stretford Post. Keep spreading the word about Sal Warner and stuff. And thank you for your support. It's good to have you here. Elite Baller, Ten Hag and Bruno are leaving Casemiro and Mainu exposed. Ten Hag and Bruno are leaving Casemiro and Mainu. That could be a point. You know what? As we say, Elite Baller, you make a good point. At the end of the day, you know, football is, you know, people think of it as one thing, but there are multi-layers to this thing. There is more than one problem at Manchester United right now. There's a lot of problems at Man United. And, you know, is Bruno one of them? A lot of people seem to think it is, you know. I think personally, in my opinion, we should have brought in Omo to rotate Bruno so that we have more of a bigger squad. I think we've overplayed Bruno, in my opinion. I thought if we brought in someone like Omo who can control the ball, is a technical baller, we could have rotated them a little bit, you know, and it would have been better for the team at the end of the day. Because at the moment, who do we have to replace Bruno when he comes out, when he leaves the team? Who replaces him at the end of the day? This is the question. Almac, people keep saying that we need to destroy a type of midfielder, yet Liverpool played us off the park without a proper number 6. Would a footballer like Zubimendi be better than tackling? Absolutely, Almac. And I said it during the summer. I was saying it all summer. If you track back to the summer, I said it all summer about a Zubimendi type of player that we needed, and also an Omo type of player that we needed. People who can keep the ball, people who are comfortable with taking the ball to their feet and taking the ball forward. We did need that at the end of the day, but unfortunately, we don't have it. You know, we didn't have the money for everything, sadly. Hopefully, we will get that position fixed very, very soon. Bruno's been given a new contract, so Bruno's going to be here for the long term. But what I would say is that I would think about bringing someone else in as well, so we can rotate Bruno and stuff. That's what I would do, in my personal opinion. Doesn't mean it's right. Fan, I like Ugarte. I don't know about Xerxes if he's a good player. At the moment, we have to give Xerxes time. He ain't fit yet. It looks like he ain't fit. It looks like he's a bit overweight and stuff. We'll have to wait and see how Xerxes develops at the end of the day. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what's happening. Elite Baller, Almac, they have Gravenberch, who is imposing, but also technical. Gravenberch as well. But you know what, Elite Baller? Imagine Gravenberch signed for Man United. You know, you just have that feeling that it won't work. You know, it won't work because, you know, no one seems to work for us. And you get that feeling that, you know, what's going to work for us at the end of the day? Does anything going to work for us? Are we going to catch a break? Is a player going to do well? You know, it starts getting into that territory, doesn't it? Irfan, Casemiro, Mount, Onana, Antonio, Rashford, Luck, Shaw out for next year. At the end of the day, look, still got a lot of work to do. We've let a lot of players go, of course, 100 million worth of players, of course. We've let a lot of players go. A lot of players still need to leave. Myself, you know, I give these players one more season. Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford, of course, one more season. Casemiro, one more season. I'll give all these players one more season to see how they do. And if by the end of the season they're still not performing, then I would move them on, to be honest. And that includes Rashford. I know Rashford is some people's favourite, but I would move him on at the end of the season if he doesn't perform. Of course, it's still early in the season. Let's wait and see. Xerxes is new. You know, he's just coming to the team. We've got to give him a chance. You know, that's what us Man United fans do. We give players a chance. Let's give him a chance and see what he does at the end of the day. He doesn't look fit for me. He looks a bit overweight, as I said. And let's see if he can get fit. We have to give him that chance to get fit, of course. Grayo, elite afternoon, mate. Big up Grayo, legend in the chat. He's an absolute legend. He's Grayo. Hit the lights. Thank you, Randy. Hit the lights. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Let's keep moving those subscribers up. Let's move it to 5,000 subscribers. Otherwise, my friend is not getting his Man United top if we don't move it up to 5,000 subscribers very, very soon. Elite, big up Grayo, big up Elite Baller, big up. It's good to have you here, my friend. Good opinions, good talk, mate. Good talk, absolutely. Trigger Kim, what is your best back four for this season? You preferred when are all fit? If it was my back four, my personal back four, and I'm going to say it like this, some people may not agree. Mazraoui, De Ligt, Licha Martinez, Shaw. That's our best back four. For me, that's our best back four when Shaw is fit. If Shaw is not fit, my best back four is Harry Hag'S or Murray. I'll play them. I mean, and I think Harry Hag'S is good enough. I'm part of the Harry Hag'S fan club, of course, some people may say, but I think Harry Hag'S is good enough. I do believe he's good enough in my personal, humble opinion. I do believe that. But what I would say is this, right? If it doesn't work out in that back four, I'm so excited to see Euro. I'm so excited to see Euro come back. It was so disappointing when he got that injury because he looked so good in pre-season, didn't he? He looked really good. And I was so disappointed when he got that injury. Anyone but Euro, for goodness sake, Euro got injured straight away. We can't catch a break, to be honest with you. It's like we're cursed, you know? Come on, guys, smash a like and a subscribe. Thank you so much, Grayo. You absolute legend. You absolute legend you are. Thank you so much. You helped so much. I would not forget this. And all of you in the chat, you are brilliant. Thank you so much. Rick and Mank, Sal, you're one of the cool heads on YouTube. Thank you, mate. I try my best, you know. I try my best. I know a lot of people are calling me out, you know. A lot of people on those other fan cams are calling me out, indirects and stuff like that. But I tend to keep it cool because at the end of the day, I just like to talk what is right for the club, and that's why I say it. You know what? In life, nothing is straightforward. Nothing is like tunnel vision. We have to look at it from a bird's eye view. As I said earlier, you have to look at things from a bird's eye view and keep your calm, because when everyone is losing their heads, what's that quote? That famous quote? When everyone is losing their heads. There's a quote about when everyone loses their heads. You have to keep your cool, you know. And at the end of the day, I'm keeping my cool. At the end of the day, despite people trying to antagonize me, trying to provoke me and stuff like that, in regards to that letter to Ineos, which I didn't send, by the way. I didn't create it. I didn't compose it. I just retweeted it. But yeah, people are saying that I wrote that letter to Ineos, and it, you know, it's a bit, you know, crazy. But you know, I keep my calm. I keep my cool. You know. Bigger. I only care about the people that like you. That's the best thing about it. We should have crashed in on Bruno this summer. I mean, yeah, many people are going to say that. Do you know what? One thing I would say, Rick, at the end of the day, I feel like some people are just as a Man United fan base, we're very, very affectionate towards our players, and we shouldn't be. We get very nostalgic. We get very emotional in regards to our players. And do you know what? We need to know when to call it a day. We need to know when to say, look, that's it, enough is enough. You know, let's move him on. He's getting on. You know, ask yourself the question: would Real Madrid still keep him? Would they? You know, I don't think it's all Bruno. I feel sorry for Bruno because Bruno's the only one who really creates in our team. You know, and this is the problem we have at the moment. This is why I thought it'd be great if we brought in another number 10, like an Omo, for example, like a Zubimendi who could bring the ball forward. You know, someone like that we needed, and we desperately missed it because we couldn't control that ball in midfield. As my guy said earlier in the chat, Liverpool didn't have that type of sitting, holding midfielder as such, but they had someone who can control the ball like Gravenberch, number 6, who can bring the ball forward, who can also play a little bit. Do you know what I mean? We lacked that, and Casemiro. That ball he gave for the first goal, it was unforgivable, you know, and we can't be giving away goals like that against teams like Liverpool, especially if we're not prolific in front of goal, you know. It's sad. I'd sell Rashford tomorrow. A lot of people would, you know, I think the majority of the fan base would deep fake. I think the majority of the fan base would sell Rashford. I think we should have cashed in on him after that goal, that season where he scored 30 goals. I think we should have cashed in on him. But we get very attached to players, as I said earlier on, that we do get very attached to players, and we do need to move on in regards to players. We do need to move on a little bit. We overstay players. These players, they overstay and they stagnate. Do you know what I mean? And then we end up having a player on higher wages who's lost it. You know, and we got to get away from that sort of thing. If we really want to be successful, we got to be more ruthless, my friends. We got to be more ruthless, in my opinion. Big up, Jim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. How are you? How's your day been? Hope you're recovering from the weekend, of course. Things are getting a little bit better. The dusk is beginning to settle a little bit, isn't it? After that crazy performance at the weekend. We've had a bad week, let's be honest. 10 days or so. We've had one of the worst 10 days we can remember, of course. Very down, the fan base. The international break would do good. England against Ireland. We're good. Looking forward to seeing Mainu play. Watch Mainu pull up an absolute man in a match performance as well, by the way. I read that we have a buyback clause on Greenwood. Why would Ineos insert such a clause in the transfer? Do they intend to bring him back? Look, at the end of the day, in regards to Greenwood, you know what? It's a very, very sensitive subject in regards to Greenwood. A lot of people feel very passionately about Greenwood. A lot of people. And in regards to the videos and the recordings, you know, I mean, it is a very sensitive thing to be speaking about him coming back to Manchester United. My opinion would be keep him there. I mean, let it be. We've lost this one. We just have to hold our hands up. Let him do well in Europe. He smashed passionate. At the end of the day, he's going to end up playing for Jamaica. Let him do his business. At the end of the day, I mean, we have to think about the player's mental health as well. You know, the player's mental health is important. If he came back to England, you know what? Man United fans don't really forget. You know, some fans don't really forget. Is it right? Is it wrong? There are self-righteous people out there. Of course, there are people out there who feel very, very passionately about that, and rightly so. Some of them do. Some people are not going to forget those recordings, of course. And at the end of the day, look, Greenwood is a generational. It's such a shame what happened to him, what's going on with him. But at the end of the day, let's remember this: he's a young lad. He makes mistakes. Human beings make big mistakes. Do you know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, we have to remember that. And, you know, I have no hard feelings towards Racing Greenwood. I wish him all the best. But in regards to coming back to Man United, it's going to be very, very difficult to integrate him back into the club, especially given what happened with Beckham all those years ago. And this is far worse because, you know, there's social media now. Back then, you know, there was no social media when Beckham was around. I was in the crowd. I was in the stadiums when Beckham was getting abuse. You know, when his wife was getting abuse, everything like that. I was in the stadiums and I witnessed what happened. It was disgusting. And Beckham was so strong in that season, absolutely a monster in that season. And he influenced me. That's inspired me that season, David Beckham. He inspired me that season because being from Leytonstone, like I am as well, you know, it means a lot, you know, an East Londoner like me. And, you know, when he went through that and he absolutely just brushed it off and won the treble for Man United, you know what I mean? But this is different because obviously Greenwood coming into a club which is relatively in disarray, you know, and then having the crowd against you, you've got the social media as well. You know what? Best of luck to Mason Greenwood. That's all I would say. Darkrow. Sal, if nobody and nothing is going to work for us, then we might stay in the mud until 2030. Then I will cross 50 and curse them again. Mate, don't worry about it. Things are going to get better. Things are going to get better. Things can only get better as I remember the song goes for Labour Party. Remember that. At the end of the day, look, just because things are going to get better and they're going to be sooner than you think. It's not going to be 2030. Remember these words, right? I'm going to be here, bold in the middle in 2030, talking to you guys about we're going to do this, guys. Finally, we're going to do this. It's been 20 years, guys. 17 years, isn't it? 17 years since we won the league title. We're going to do this. Guys, it's been 20 years since Arsenal didn't win the league. Hey! It's been 20 years since Arsenal won the league. Hey! It's a 20-year celebration for Arsenal. Don't forget your nearest Arsenal fan to congratulate Arsenal on the 20-year anniversary of their league title. 20 years. Elite Baller, Sal, apart from the Bruno was subbed off versus Fulham, when was the last time you saw that? No player should be undroppable, and the captain should most importantly consider, and he just got the pay rise, of course. Do you know what, Elite Baller? Do you know what? That's absolutely true. And I will say it like this. You should be playing based on merit. If you're not playing, you should be dropped. 100% you should be dropped. At the end of the day, if Bruno's not performing, drop him, leave him out for a little while. It does better for the player to be dropped than to play him consistently and he's consistently underperforming. Maybe you need to take the player out for a little bit, see how he does, see how he reacts, bring him on as a substitute, take off Rashford, bring him on as a substitute sometimes. That's what you need to do sometimes. Of course, Sir Alex Ferguson was the master at this. He used to keep people on their toes all the time, and that's exactly what it does. It keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? You think, oh, he's made me substitute. I'm going to prove him wrong. And that's what good players with good character do. They prove you wrong. They give you a reason to play. But at the moment, no one has given me a reason that they should be playing. At the end of the day, none of them are giving me a reason that they should be playing. Now, some of these players do need to be dropped against Southampton. I believe Rashford needs to be dropped. Maybe Bruno needs to come out the side. But let's see what happens when Ugarte comes in. Let's see how we play. Let's see when all the team has settled down a little bit. But we can't take any prisoners this year. We can't. We can't be just relying on players to perform after 1 every 10 games. We've got to have more at Man United. We are Man United at the end of the day. We're being bantered every single day. And this is getting ridiculous at the moment. For goodness sake, we got Liverpool fans. I've had Liverpool fans, right, come up to me and feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for me. I don't want to be felt sorry for. I don't want any sympathy from Liverpool fans. Good. Do you know how that made me feel? That was the worst thing. They're feeling sorry for me. How can you... Do you know what I mean? Liverpool fans, I feel sorry for you, mate. Mate, you won 1 league title in 30 years. Get out of the way. That's what I said. Even though he's trying to be nice. I said, you want 1 title in 30 years. Get out of the way. That's what I said. Rick, you can play De Ligt and Euro and side Martinez into CDM. The one thing about Martinez, he hasn't played there yet for Man United. I know he played there for Ajax, but he hasn't played there yet for Man United, has he? This is the one thing I'm worried about. You know, that why hasn't Ten Hag deployed him in that central midfield area if he's good at it? Because we have been short there. Let's be honest. I believe he can play there, to be honest with you. But I like to see Collier given a chance. We have got some good youngsters coming through, and of course we've got Ugarte and Mainu. So let's not forget that, of course. But it's a good idea and one that we haven't implemented, and loads of people have been screaming out for it. Trigger Kim, I have a feeling that Euro De Ligt are our best centre backs. Martinez might be benched if Euro is fit. Licha had a disaster last game. Hope he doesn't get injured during the international break. I hope so as well, my friend Trigger Kim. Licha hasn't started the season well, but we know how good Licha is, don't we? We saw him in the FA Cup final. We know how he is. Of course, it's early in the season, guys, so we have to remember that it is early in the season. So we have to give them a chance. Let's see what happens after the international break. I saw the pictures of Garnacho in Argentina. I've seen the pictures, you know, and I'm a little bit worried, if you ask me. I'm a little bit worried about Garnacho. I'm a little bit worried about Licha Martinez, and I'm worried about that Mainu as well, if I'm being honest. Can you see me? Yeah. I'm worried about Mainu. I'm worried about it. If I'm being honest, I'm worried about these players, to be honest with you, playing in the international break. I'm really worried about that, guys. And to be honest with you, I hope we don't get any injuries. As I said, I saw Garnacho and I saw Licha on international break, and it's worrying me. It is worrying me big time. I don't want anything to happen to our players, guys. Absolutely not. Jim, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. If Ten Hag says we are not ready, maybe United is not ready for another 10 years, the way things are going. No joke. We need to laugh and to keep motivated. Absolutely, we need to be motivated. We need to. This break is good. Obviously, it's going to make a lot of people wake up a little bit, clear their heads a little bit. What's happened this last 10 days or so, which is good. We're going to clear our heads a little bit. We need a little bit of a break, to be honest. But when we get back to the football, when we get to Southampton, when we get to Palace, Aston Villa and Spurs, that is when we have to really show ourselves. We have to show ourselves, guys. We are Manchester United. No more. No more, no more. No. As they say, no more of that. Absolutely not. We need to start performing, guys. Absolutely. And after the international break, barring no injuries, let's hope we're in a good position to do that. Darko. So what if the Glazers offer a handsome package to buy your channel? Would you sell them as 25%? You can have it for 25%, mate. That's it. I still run the club. They'll have to do what I say. They will have to do what I say. Yeah. No, you're not making a show. No, you're not changing the thumbnail. What you doing, Malcolm Glazer? No, Malcolm's gone, isn't he? Joel Glazer. What are you doing, Joel Glazer? What are you doing? Don't touch my thumbnail. I'm in charge. You only got 25%. Absolutely. Elite Baller, Sal, even if Ineos did back Ten Hag, I still feel his time is over if he loses these two games versus Southampton and Palace. Look, if he loses to Southampton, there is nowhere to hide, guys, because Southampton can't score and Southampton can't defend, guys. They can't score and they can't defend. At the end of the day, if we lose to Southampton, for goodness sake, it's going to be mad. Can you imagine a fan base? It's going to be crazy if we lose to Southampton. How embarrassing if we lose to Southampton. I don't think we'll lose to Southampton. My prediction for the Southampton game is Manchester United 2, Southampton 0. That's my prediction. I'm not going to go over the top this time. Big greetings, brother. How are you doing, buddy? Big up everyone. Big up the families in the chat. Of course, Sal, we won't sell a virus to them. Absolutely, we're not going to sell them a virus. I'll sell them my old channel. I sell them one of my old channels, my old music channels. It's got about 100 subscribers and stuff. Almac, I said we should have sold Bruno to Saudi and use the money as a deposit for Florian Wirtz. But United as a club never do that until the only shining light at the club. Real Madrid do that. Yeah, you know what? The way our structure of the team is going, the way we structured, we don't do that. One thing I would say, and we've spoken in the chat before, is that our scouts are not on it like they should be on it. We do have some scouting, good things about our scouting, but in regards to South America, we don't have good scouting network in South America. I've always said CONCACAF, South America, Australasia, Africa. We need to explore that market a little bit better. We do. Because Real Madrid, they're getting the best young players straight away. It's like a conveyor belt of young Brazilian players that come through. Now it's Endrick. Endrick's already scored his first goal for Real Madrid, of course. So now it's Endrick. He's come through. You know, we need to do more of that, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, as we are as Man United fans, we're very nostalgic. We're very emotional. We cling on to players. We do cling on to players. One thing I'll say about Bruno, and I love Bruno, and look at this year, I worked with Bruno's brother for 2 years. 2 years I worked with Bruno's brother in Surrey, right? Not many people know, but his brother works in Surrey Hospital, right? East Surrey Hospital. All right. I left there, of course. I'm in the Middle East now, but I worked for him 2 years. And you know what? I'm not going to criticize Bruno just because Bruno, I'm being bitter and stuff like that. Bruno needs a rest. Bruno needs a rest. For goodness sake, he needs a rest. We overplayed him over the years, over the last few years. We've relied on him heavily. And big respect to Bruno, of course. Big respect for everything he's done. But, I would have brought in another number 10. Of course, we do have Collier, who can play there as well. We have players coming through. We have a lot of players coming through. Of course, to talk about Gabriel Biancheri, of course, who plays for Wales national team. He could be coming in as well, of course, into the squad. Build up the squad a little bit. We've got some great young players coming in. And they're winners as well. They're winning. Let me just have a look at your comments here, guys. Man United have to play 3-5-2 with Garnacho, Xerxes, Ugarte, Euro, Delict, Dalot, Mainu. You know what, Irfan, you know what? It's okay formation. I just don't like the formation myself, and it takes time to implement it perfectly. I don't like it that much, the three at the back. I don't know about you, but I like 4-4-2, 4-5-1. That's for me. I think you should keep it simple, keep the wingers creating. With 4-5-1, you can make it into 4 up front if you want, and still have the two in the midfield. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like football's a simple game and we're overcomplicating it. Jim, I'm doing all right. Thanks, brother. Good to have you on the stream, my friend. Good to have you on the stream. Absolutely. Elite Baller, hi Joe, good brother, and you. Big up everyone in the chat. Good to know you. Good to know you. Good to know you. I'm not given my opinion on Greenwood. Me neither. I prefer to stay well away from that. But one thing I would say is that Greenwood is a generational talent, and I wish him all the best because we've lost out. If that didn't happen, if all this dramas didn't happen, we've missed out. And he's a great player, and unfortunately we just have to move on that. Baller, well, yeah, absolutely, guys. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up Elite Baller. Sorry, big up you guys. You chatterboxers are mad. You're absolutely mad. Big up you. Like you said, Works could replace Bruno. So could Musiala and Olmo, but very unlikely to get any of these. Unfortunately, I reckon the only one is Works if Tuchel was the manager. Works is a fantastic prospect. He's a brilliant player. I wanted Olmo, of course. I did shout out Olmo for weeks and weeks and weeks, but he's gone to Barcelona, of course. I felt if we tried, we could have got him. He almost went to Arsenal as well, didn't he? Elite Baller, big up Jim, big up everyone. Big up Stephanie, the legend in the chat. Big up Stephanie, you absolute baller. You are the baller of the chat, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are the elite one. Jim goes, Elite Baller, that was funny. Absolutely. We are a funny bunch. Elite Baller, Sal, choose one of these scenarios. Ten Hag sacked to Ruud van Nistelrooy or Tuchel. Oh, God, you put me on the spot, mate. You put me on the spot. Ruud van Nistelrooy. You're not going to Ruud van Nistelrooy because I'm not a fan of Tuchel. At the end of the day, I just feel like Tuchel's a little bit overrated. Won a COVID Champions League, failed at Bayern Munich, failed at Chelsea. I know he won a COVID Champions League for Chelsea. It was a COVID Champions League at the end of the day. But, I'm not dissing him. I'm not saying that he's the worst manager ever. But I just wouldn't have him, to be honest with you, mate. Absolutely not. Sniper Man, Martinez can play DM, Lindelof can. Yeah, absolutely. But Lindelof hasn't got no legs. He's like Christopher Reeve. He's got no legs. For goodness, this is the problem. He needs legs. We don't have many legs in there. We're like a Transformers Decepticon in the middle of the midfield at the moment with Casemiro. But Zaha made Ten Hag to say that the team is not ready. He has a whole preseason to get this team to fully match fit. That's on Ten Hag. It is his job to install discipline and follow that direction. You know what? People have their opinion about that. I don't know what's going on because at the end of the day, a certain amount of people are saying Ten Hag trains them too hard. Other people are saying they don't train him hard enough. Where do we go? Where's the middle line here? At the end of the day, where's the middle line? These players, they're going to get fit. By the time the international break finishes, I hope that they are fit. After the international break, there are no excuses. No excuses, guys. Big up, everyone. 11 likes. Is that it? Come on, guys. Keep pushing the likes. Keep smashing the likes, guys. Thank you so much. You're absolute legends. Thank you so much. Keep smashing the likes if you could do that and be as kind. Kone is learning English and starting to train with the first team. Absolutely, Mark. Kone is ready. I'm hearing as well the same thing, that they're ready to integrate him into the first team squad, as it says on the thumbnail. At the end of the day, if he's good enough, he's old enough, I would say. Bring him in. bring him in. Get him fit, bring him in. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does against Southampton. Bring him on as a sub. Give him 15 minutes. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully the game is won by then. Hopefully, please. And let's bring him in. Let's see what he does. I mean, at the end of the day, we've scouted him. There must be something about him. He comes from a generational Mali team. So let's see what he can do. I would do that as well. And of course he's going to have a point to prove, and he's going to wear his heart on his sleeve. As Sir Alex Ferguson said, the youngsters will never let you down. So this Cheeto side is getting ridiculous now. It's almost finished. It's almost done, my guy. The Cheeto situation is almost complete. Of course, it is going through a lot of politics at the moment in regards to compensation fees with Arsenal. Court has been mentioned, of course, as well. Hopefully he'll be a Man United player very, very soon, of course. Arsenal are just throwing their rattles out there playing. Pram. Elite Baller, Jim, I think the pressure is getting to Ten Hag. It's not looking good. You know what? Let's wait and see after the international break. We'll have to wait and see what goes on in regards to that. Hi, Mark MC. Great greetings, brother. Greetings to Mark MC. And don't forget to subscribe to my brother, Mark MC, MUFC as well. Mark N is an absolute legend of the chat as well. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. Subscribe. Guys, please. Elton Carl said that Martin is in GM. He doesn't believe in him. He played there a couple of times for Ajax, but he hasn't played there enough for Man United. I haven't seen him play there for Man United. So there must be a reason behind that. There must be a reason behind it. Does he fit that formation? Big up Stephanie. Big up you legend. Big up the Chatterboxers. Absolutely. Big up the Chatterboxers. They're right here, of course. 25% sell-on clause for Stretford Post. 27.5% sell on. You can have me for 27.5%, 20.5%. But I'm taking the shirt and the frame picture. Absolutely. Elite Baller, I can see more losses coming. Hope we don't get Ugarte, ruining Ugarte's career there. He is coaching, he's unpredictable and boring. Let's wait and see, Jim. You know what I mean? Let's wait and see. Let's not overreact. We got the international break coming. Then when we finish with the international break, we got no excuses. There's nowhere to hide. We got Southampton at St. Mary's, of course, a game that we should win. Crystal Palace is going to be a difficult game away. Aston Villa is going to be a difficult game away. And then we got Spurs at home, which is, of course, difficult as well. Because Spurs notoriously like to counter-attack, and they got Son and stuff. So it's going to be a difficult game. I feel like it's a very, very good period for Manchester United because it's going to test Ten Hag to the limit. It's going to test him. It's not impossible. It's not like Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, but it's just difficult enough to see where we are in regards to those teams. And if we come out that period of games unscathed, the feeling would be different, wouldn't it? It'd be a lot different. Doug, are you Everton in or out? You know what I mean? I'm Manchester United in myself, and that's why I am. Miss Stephanie, big up Stephanie, big up Elite Baller, big up everyone, of course. When was the last time we scored 3 goals and didn't concede even a goal? I miss those days. Mate, do you know what? I miss the days we used to score 5 goals. I miss the days we used to be 3-0 down with 20 minutes to go and say we'll still win the game. I miss those days. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember those days? Do you remember when we were 3-0 down against Spurs and ended up winning 5-3? I miss those days. We never lost a game. Back in them days, we never lost. We were never losing. Even if we were losing a game 2-0, we weren't really losing, were we? We'll come back at the end of the day. We'll come back. Do you know what I mean? I used to sit behind the goal at the Stretford end, right? And there was a game, Man United against Liverpool. And I don't know if you remember it. Dirk Kuyt ran on the wing and he crossed and Fernando Torres headed the ball in. I was right there, right watching it. I'm actually on the TV, you see me. And, we ended up winning the game 2-1. When Torres scored that goal, even then you're like, they scored, they're happy, look at them, they're happy. That's what we used to be like. Look at them, and we still win. We never used to lose like that to Liverpool. We never, ever. You're joking, at Old Trafford in them days. I can only remember once, a couple of times they beat us 1-0 with Danny Murphy free kick. I think they beat us 4-1 in 2010. That's about it. That's all I can really, 2009. That's all I can remember. I can't remember much else apart from that. Other than that, we used to smash them, and that's what I was used to. I was growing up with that. Big up yourself, big up Stephanie, big up Kenny, of course, as well. Don't forget to subscribe to Kenny Fan TV, a legend as well, absolute legend, of course. I'm going with 1-0 United. We'll scrap a win against Southampton, you mean? Absolutely, against Southampton. League baller, Darko, he has to win these next 2 league games for me. If he doesn't, he goes, it would be 4 losses in a row. Which so said that should never happen. You know what? It would be very, very, very hard to keep Ten Hag after that if he loses the next 2. If he loses to Southampton, that is very, very difficult to take because Southampton can't score, Southampton can't defend. At the end of the day, we have no excuses for that. Our second team should beat Southampton. That's where it is. Big up, Steph. Big up, Elite. Big up, everyone in this chat, of course, building the community. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Sal, but Bruno himself is too egotistical to give him a rest. He won't take being dropped. Well, he has a temperament issues as well. But you know what? You have to show who's boss. You have to show who's boss. I'm boss. You're not playing. That's exactly what it is. Alex Ferguson dropped Beckham, many times. Dropped Beckham for Chadwick. Do you know what I mean? You are the boss. Show yourself. Impose yourself. I'm the boss. You're not playing today. That's it. You need a rest. But I need what? So what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do? He goes, "You're not playing today, but I need you in a couple of games. I need you." That's what he used to do. Try and make it softer. Try and give it out softer, of course. Yo, did we stop becoming a laughing stock, or should I continue to stay offline for the No, we're laughing. Let them talk, mate. At the end of the day, we're never going to die. We're Manchester United shorts. At the end of the day, we're never going to die. We will be back. Don't worry about that. Eventually, by hook or by crook, we will be back. Let's not forget, these things happen in football. We're in a bad moment at the moment. But that moment is a moment. And we're not going to last forever. We will be back. And that's why they're giving us banter now. Because they know deep down that Manchester United will be back, guys. They will be back. I'm pretty certain. Elite Baller, Jim Watkins, I feel like this team are looking very lost. I don't know what Ten Hag can do to turn this around. You know what? Things happen. I think it can turn around. I firmly believe that. Just keep the belief, guys. Absolutely. Big up yourself. Big up, Steph. Elite Baller, Darkro. Big up, Darkro. Big up, Elite Baller. You absolute legends. You. Big up, Grayo, my friend. Big up. No Tuchel. Absolutely not. Sorry, I'm just catching up with some of these messages here. Big up, Steph. Big up, Kenny. Big up, Sal. Will be available for the stream. I'll be doing one in a few hours. I'll try my best, mate. Send me the link. I'll try my best. Of course, I'm going out tonight, so hopefully I'll be back in time if I can. I'm really on Twitter and stuff like that when in the evening, but I'll try my best. Just send me the link. I'll try my best to come on for you, my guy. Absolutely, I'll try. That's the show, of course. Come on, everyone. Please smash a like and a subscribe. Absolutely smash a like, guys. Let's get it up to at least 50 subscribers, guys. Let's keep it pushing. Thank you, Grayo. Thank you. You are a massive help to this channel. You are amazing. Tuchel can't even win the league with Bayern Munich. He will get relegated us. If we can't win the league with Bayern Munich, God knows what he's going to do with Man United with those egos. My goodness me. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Sniper Man, I heard Cheeto is done. Yeah, Cheeto's nearly done. Nearly done, as said early in the show. Feeling that saying we are lost, maybe what Ten Hag needs to do is restore order and discipline in the team. Absolutely. Discipline has been a huge problem over the years for Man United. Absolutely huge problem. So I feel like the players would respond better if the legend players to the game like Ruud van Nistelrooy is done. I question how much respect some of the players have for Ten Hag. But do you know what? We had Jose Mourinho, and the same thing happened with Jose Mourinho. And Jose Mourinho is a serial winner, isn't it? I just worry about the ego of some of these players. They think they're bigger than they are, some of them. I think they're bigger than what they are. So, would you take 8 points from our next 4 games? 3, 6, 9. No, I wouldn't. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't. Win against Southampton, has to. If you want to qualify for the Champions League, you've got to beat teams like Crystal Palace, has to be a win. Aston Villa, we won there last season. And at home to Spurs. If you can't beat Spurs at home, where are we really going? It's Spursy. It's Spurs, as Sir Alex Ferguson said. It's Spurs. It's only Spurs. Randy, we've got, yeah, absolutely. Deep fake. Our problem is we've been spoiled with success in the past. Absolutely. And I'm very thankful for our success, Deep fake. I'm very, very thankful for the success we've had over the years. I'm glad that I've witnessed it because I know I've seen the rain now. Back then, we only saw the sunshine. Now we've seen the rain. We know what it's about. We know what losing is about. We know what it is now. I've seen it now. And hopefully we get the success back. We will be. We are spoiled. We have to be. We're Man United. We're the Real Madrid. We're the Barcelonas of England, at the end of the day. So we should be spoiled, in my opinion. Torres was world-class at Liverpool. Initially, yeah, he was. He was a brilliant player. We wanted him for a while as well, didn't he, before he signed for Liverpool. We got Cheeto and he scored 10. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to see Cheeto. Hopefully he goes straight into the team. That'd be lovely. To some degree, I disagree with Ole is a legend, but never made it as a manager. Zidane has proven himself as a manager. I agree with you. Ole just wasn't that guy, in my opinion. It was vibes. So, do you know those Sikh Red Devils sitting in front, just front? I've seen them, met them. Yeah, they used to come on the train. They used to be the Virgin train back then. They used to come on the train, of course. Yeah. Do you remember those twins out of Big Brother? There was 2 twins in Big Brother. I've had some funny stories on that train on the way to Manchester from London. My goodness me. I've had some funny stories. They sat next to me and they were just causing havoc, dropping food, this, that, and that. It was mad. You have secured my subscription, Sal. Thank you, Elite Baller. You're absolute legend. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Please spread it as well. Spread it around, Elite Baller. I like your opinions, very balanced opinions. That's what I like. You know, not too much, not overzealous, not overcritical, not insulting. It's brilliant. That's what I like. You know, some people insult. They think by opinions are like insulting people and calling people bald fools and peanut heads and that. I don't deal with that sort of thing. Thank you, Elite Baller. You're legend. Bruno needs a rest. Absolutely, he does. Stephanie, Sal is the real issue, as everything has to go through Bruno, and he has played so badly. So do we. Sal is the real issue, as everything has to go through Bruno, and he plays badly. So do we. I don't quite get that, Stephanie. I'm a bit confused. Maybe I'm slow. Maybe I'm slow, mate. I don't know, but I don't quite. Can you rephrase that for me, please? Ole is a different type of legend, though. He is very reserved, and I wouldn't consider him having enough authority. Ole, I love Ole. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, is a fantastic player. He's a legend as a player. A legend as a player. As a manager, he's not that guy. You know, unfortunately, he's not. It's like having Eric Cantona as your manager. He's a legend. It's like having Andy Cole as your manager or Roy Keane as your manager. It's not going to work out at the end of the day. Although I would like to see those guys in and around the club, including Roy Keane, it might install some discipline. You know what I mean? Let me go through these comments. Jim, I'm giving it till Christmas, but for us, it's me too, mate. Me too. Christmas is going to be very, very important, guys, in regards to where we are in the league. If we're 10th, then you know what's happening, don't you? Thank you, Elite Baller. Thank you so much. Please smash and subscribe to the channel. You're absolute legends. Thank you so much, guys. You absolute brilliant people. Thank you. Let's keep building this community. Let's keep building and spread the word to the other fan channels as well. Keep spreading the word and let us know. Let me know. Let them know about Stretford Post. Big up. Zidane. I would love Zidane, to be honest with you, but can he do it at Man United? I remember Alex Ferguson did a show with David Beckham a while. You know, I remember while I don't agree with violence or aggression, Alex demanded the best and respect from the players. He installed a winning mentality. Yeah, absolutely. They did show a show at Beckham, and he did. At the end of the day, look, it's a balance. At the end of the day, respect. You have to have respect. Comes from both ways. So Alex Ferguson felt that David Beckham's PR was getting a bit too much. Here's a question for you guys, though. What would Sir Alex do if he was manager now in regards to the team? What would he do if Sir Alex Ferguson was around? What would you do? What would he do? You know, what would Sir Alex Ferguson do in regards to Rashford, for example? Kenny, we'll beat Spurs this time. Angie is under scrutiny. I hope so. We should. If we have aspiration of doing well, success goes around. City will be bang average again. I can't wait till they get relegated to League One. I'll be laughing in their faces. They get on my nerves. They're all over my Twitter page. You know, those fans have only been fans 5 minutes, and they think they can talk about Man United at the end of the day. So it goes, yep, sorry. Thomas Tuchel was like 3-4-3. I like to play the Ahmed, Garnacho, Xerxes, Agate, Yoro, Delit, Dalla. Absolutely. Yeah, it's your opinion, fan. Do you know what I mean? Every manager's going to have his own style, and he's going to, if Churchill plays that, I'm not a fan of that formation, but we have to wait and see. So regarding Jose, he still has contend with players' power. He still has to contend with player power, though. And at the end of the day, MUFC probably favoured the players more, as they are the money makers for the brand. Yeah, because yeah, absolutely, Elite. Because it's easier to remove the manager than it is to remove these players. And this is where we're getting it wrong. Because what would Real Madrid do at the end of the day? Do you know what I mean? What would the big elite clubs do? They wouldn't have player power there. They would dare have player power there. We have too much player power. Player power calls the shots. You know, and you can see on their body language as well, some of those players. Let me read this one. One thing I noticed with MUTV, they tend to show too much of the glory days. They need to stop that as they agitate so many people. Do you know what, Jim? I absolutely agree with that. We do. We are a nostalgic bunch. We have witnessed a lot. You know, we are proud of our history, but we do need to understand where we want to go. We have to think about the future now. We have to. We have to be more ruthless, including MUTV. It's too nice. It's too soft. We got to be scary again, guys. We got to be scary. We need 9 points from our next 3 games plus win against Barnsley in the Carabao Cup for the and Europa League, of course. Ole is too soft. The manager Ole's a lovely person, but yeah, he is too much of a nice guy. Big up Schultz, 100%. As a win the league, big up Deep Fake. One day we're going to win the league. So Alex Ferguson would say, "I am Harry Potter." Absolutely, definitely. He wouldn't make things like that up. Definitely not. He would tell them to get lost. He would drop Rashford, Onana, and Casemiro absolutely long time ago if they would still be at the club, of course. Fergie would throw a hamburger on Luke Shaw. he'll catch it with his mouth. No offense. What would Alex Ferguson do? I would terminate their contracts. He does not tolerate any more. Absolutely. It'd be interesting to know what the team would be right now. Sal, rate these players. MUTC careers out of 10 so far, with consistency being the most important factor. Rashford, 6. Bruno, 7. Look, I can't. Look, at the end of the day, if I'm rating these players I'm going back. Let me do it like this. Rashford, 4. Bruno, 6. Shaw, 2. Maguire, 4. That's what I would do. Because I'm not bringing them up to that level of what used to be in the 90s. Do you remember in the 90s? That is high. These careers, at the end of the day, they all failed for me. I don't care. Even the people like these players, they all failed. Bruno's done okay. Yeah. But that's it. You know, at the end of the day, I think they're just all failures for me. I'll just say it like that. All failures. Sayers Ferguson would appoint Southgate as assistant so both could stop a year they're bleeding for no Salah. Yeah, absolutely. Did you know Salah is the 5th highest scorer at Old Trafford? 5th highest scorer at Old Trafford since 2018. He's the 5th highest goal scorer at Old Trafford. 5th. Out of all the Man United players, he's the 5th. Put it in perspective, guys. My goodness. KTV, yes, absolutely. Bayern Munich, I like the way they move in the transfer market. Good players. I like Bayern Munich, elite. They move like elite clubs. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely spot on about MUT. Thanks for agreeing with me. Absolutely, Jim. Thank you guys for joining me. I've gone over the time, guys. Thank you so much, guys. You're absolute legends. Thank you for joining the stream. It's been a fantastic show. Of course, as usual, the legends in the chat, you chatterboxers, the legends are in the chat. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe and smash a like on the channel. Please spread the word. Keep spreading the word. We'll get there, guys. This community is growing, but day by day, I'm proud of this channel and I'm proud of every single one of you. You guys are absolute legends, mate. Legends, absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn if nothing else breaks. But guys, take it easy and don't worry. We're going to get there, guys. I always say every stream, we're going to get there. It's going to change. It's going to change, guys. Take it easy and glory, glory, Man United, of course. You know what? Pain before the storm. Was it pain before the joy? The storm before the sunshine. That's what I say. Big up, everyone. Talking rubbish as usual. Ain't I? Big up, Kenny. Big up, Graham. Big up, Darkro. Big up, Jim. Big up, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. Thank you. Easy.